Welcome to Merit Training. Today we're going to talk about SAM splints. SAM splints come in a variety of shapes and sizes. We're going to demonstrate the most common size, 36 inches. The SAM splint has been around for 3 or 4 decades, and it's been used for improvised splinting device for mountain rescue and military. It is made up of a wire mesh surrounded by a very soft material. And this is not very strong unless you strengthen it by putting a V shape into the SAM splint. By putting this V shape, you're adding to the strength, and now you can use it as a SAM splint. This side is not in a V shape, and it has no use whatsoever for a splinting device. I'm going to demonstrate this on a forearm fracture here. Assuming that this is a forearm fracture, also known as an S fracture, I'm going to create this SAM splint and the correct size for that. So how I do that is I'll measure off of his other uninjured side to make sure that the length is the size that I need. I'm going to fold this over and I'm going to put that V shape into it. That's going to strengthen it. By folding it over, it's going to make it doubly strong. Now I'm going to check to make sure that that is roughly the right length for my broken arm. And before I actually put this on, I'm going to check for capillary refill. I can check for circulation, motor sensory, to make sure that the injury is not that bad. Because we work in a remote environment, our splints have to be extra comfortable. We're going to use a bit of cut up t-shirt or a triangular bandage to make this more soft and comfortable. If you have a casualty that you're exfilling for 3, 4, 5 hours a day at a time, you're going to need to have this a very comfortable splint. This is not your normal ambulance splint where they're going to be into A&E within 5-10 minutes. What I'll do is I'll carefully lift up this fracture. I'm going to put the SAM splint underneath it to reduce the movement. Now I need to find some way to attach this, and what we'll use is an ACE wrap. An ACE wrap is a stretchy bandage. We'll have a separate blog for this, a video blog, to demonstrate how this works. And basically we're just going to wrap this around to keep the SAM splint on the arm, being careful especially over the wound itself. Now the ACE wrap is really stretchy. If I stretch this too much, I could actually cut off circulation. So I want to make sure that this is not stretched too strongly, and it's basically just a snug fit. The end of this ACE wrap, I'm going to tie a Cato knot, named after a guy named Cato. That knot is then going to be used to keep it from being unraveled. You can also use some duct tape on that. Whenever you put a splint on the body, you want to double check to make sure that they have capillary refill, sensory, motor, and circulation, so you didn't cause further impingement into the casualty. Also, a complete splint means you immobilize the joint below and the joint above. This fracture is immobilized, but we'll immobilize the joint above by putting this into a sling and swath across his shoulder, and that would stabilize this injury. The SAM splint has a bunch of different uses. This is just one of them.